Good day, sir. Today, we will be discussing about reducing hazards in agricultural mechanics. Students who works in agricultural mechanics may be exposed to some risks like fire, poisonous chemicals, and farm vehicle accidents. Thus, in order to avoid these injuries, it is essential for students to always be prepared when this kind of threats arise. In this video, we will be discussing the precautions to take and how to avoid fire and how to handle various types of fire. We will also be disseminating the pertinent data that the manufacturers have labeled in their items.
So hi everyone, for today's discussion, I will discuss to you the fire triangle and the fire tetrahedron. So in order to generate fire, there are three things that may present the same time. So the figure above that we call fire triangle. As you can see, nadry figure na naka-form siya og triangle and where oxygen and heat and fuel are presented as a components of fire. Ng oxygen and heat and fuel, mao na sila ang ga-represent or as components of fire. This means that whenever one of these three is not present, if ang isa sa ilaha mawala or isa sa ila dili mag-present, fire cannot be produced. So, dili ka makaproduce or dili ka makahimog fire if isa sa ila, if ang oxygen mawala or either ang heat or fuel mawala, dili ka makaproduce og fire. Kay kanang tulo, mao na sila ang components of fire para makaproduce or makahimo ka og fire. So, that we call fire triangle. So, karon i-discuss na pud nako sa inyo ang fire tetrahedron. So, more accurately describe the mechanics for fire. Suppression by clean agent, halon replacement, which break up the uninhibited chain reaction of combustion. So, as you can see, makakita mo figure dira na nabilong dira ang oxygen, heat, fuel, and chain reaction. So, halon may be any of a group of argonohalogen compounds containing bromine and fluorine. So, and one of two carbons. The effectiveness of halon is extinguishing fire. So, arises from their action and interrupting chain reaction that propagate the combustion process. Oxygen, heat, fuel are frequency referred to as a fire triangle, and also as you can see, add in the fourth elements the chemical reaction or the chain reaction, and you can actually have fire tetrahedron. So that important things, ang importante nga butang that to remember is to take away of these four things, kang fire, heat, fuel, and chain reaction away, extinguish. Take any of these things away. Yan ang ipalayo sila that will have fire or fire will be extinguished. Dili makaproduce or dili siya makahimo og fire if kanang tulo is wala na sila nag-uban. So,
good morning everyone. My name is Jana Dayan de Coppelia. So today we're going to talk about package label. So one of the important parts of most commercial products is the package label. Customers obtain vital information about the products on the label. For example, food products label tells about nutrient content, foods that it may contain allergies, and the ingredients of the products. So sa tong mga pagkaon na jud nay package label. And either sa to ang mga clothes label, it tells us how they are to be cleaned or unsay-say sa to ang mga sanina ana. So on hazardous products, package labels are absolutely necessary since in the event of an accident, they could mean the difference between life and death. So sa to ang mga pagkaon, for example, is natay allergies ana niya. Wala sa package label na kabutang, pwede ta mamatay ana or pwede ta madala sa ospital. So, package label is very important. So, if consumed orally, substances like turpentine and kerosene are poisonous. So, kaning mga poisonous products nato, napod ni siya package label. Kung for children ba ni or for farming ba ni or poisonous ba ni ana. So, agricultural pesticides are also substances created to poison pests. So, sa to ang mga pesticides ana for pest lang jud ni siya, dili na for children or dili na imnon or kaunon ana. But if applied improperly, they also have the potential to harm or even kill people. So, syempre, kung inuman na to ang poisonous, mamatay dyan na, di ba? For example, is alcohol. Kanang hand sanitizer na to. Kung wala yung nakabutangan na nga, for sanitizer lang na, if inuman na to na, syempre pwede ito mamatayan na, di ba? So, that's all, and thank you once again.
Good day everyone, I am Grace De La Torre and now I am going to discuss the classes of fires. To effectively extinguish fire, it is helpful to know what class it falls under. Fires are categorized in different classes based on the kind of fuel it came from. The following shows the difference between the 5 classes of fires. First is the class A. It is the combustible materials such as wood, cloth, paper, rubber, and plastics. This type of fire can be extinguished by the use of the water or foam. Second is the class B. This is created through the presence of flammable liquids and combustible liquids. Example of these are petroleum greases, chars, oils, oil-based paints, solvents, lacquers, alcohols, and flammable gases. The extinguishing agent for this is foam. Third is the class C. Fire of this class can be generated through fuels used in creating either class A or B fire. However, class C involves the presence of electricity. The extinguishing agent for this is most commonly carbon dioxide or dry chemicals. Use of water is dangerous because water conducts electricity. The fourth one is the class D. It is a fire ignited from combustible metals such as magnesium, titanium, zirconium, sodium, lithium, and potassium. Because of extremely high flame temperatures of class D fire, water can break down into hydrogen and oxygen, enhancing burning or exploding. This could be extinguished with special powders based on sodium chloride or other salts. Clean dry sand also works. And lastly is the class K. This class of fire is also known as kitchen fires. Fires in cooking appliances that involve combustible cooking media, vegetables or animal oils and fats falls under this category. What chemicals are used to extinguish class K fires? In conclusion, not all fires are alike. In extinguishing them, it is important to pay attention to the types of materials that are burning as well as where is the fire located. Because using the wrong fire agent can make a bad situation even worse. For example, water does a great job of putting out a fire in a pile of cardboard. But if you pour water on burning liquids, it will spread the fire further. And if the fire is in running electrical equipment, somebody could get electrocuted because water conducts electricity. To make it easier to distinguish between the different classes of fires and determine what substances should be used to extinguish them, always remember the 5 classes of fires: the class A, class B, class C, class D, and class K.
Types of fire extinguishers. First is water and foam. Water and foam fire extinguishers extinguish the fire by taking away the heat element of the fire triangle. This is caused by various organic materials such as wood, cloth, paper, rubber, and many plastic. They burn with an ember and leave an ash. Fire extinguisher, it should not be used for kitchen fires, fire caused by flammable, gas, and liquid, as well as fires. Water and foam extinguishers should be placed by exit floor. Water extinguishers are for Class A fire only. Creating a barrier, the fuel, such as layer of foam, so mao na ang pinakamaayong paagi sa pag-control sa Class B fire. If you use the Class C, it creates a shock hazard because water conduct electricity. Number 2, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide fire extinguishers extinguish fire by taking away oxygen element of fire triangle and also by removing the heat with a very cold discharge. Create through presence of flammable liquid, burn at room temperature, and combustible liquids. Require heat to ignite. Class C involves the presence of electricity. This type of fire could be extinguished by cooling the fuel to a temperature that is below the ignition temperature. Class A kay mao nang kasagarang dili epektibo maong ang ginagamit sa carbon dioxide kay ang Class B ug ang Class C fires. Number 3, dry chemical. Dry chemical fire extinguishers extinguish the fire primarily by interrupting the chemical reaction of the fire triangle. Multi-purpose dry chemical portable fire extinguishers is useful for Class A, B, and C, and ordinary use fire in Class B and C fires. Works creating barrier between the fuel and the dry chemical. Most commonly carbon dioxide and dry chemical agent are required to extinguish kind of fire. So ang paggamit sa tubig ug uban pang agent are also effective. Ug ang importante ang tamang paggamit sa extinguisher para mas successful.
Number 4, the wet chemical extinguisher. Extinguishes the fire by removing the heat of the fire triangle and prevents reignition by creating a barrier between the oxygen and fuel elements. This has a yellow label. This is used to extinguish a fire that involving combustible cooking media, for example, burning oil and fat. Sometimes, if we do the cooking and we use oil, the oil will adapt fire and it can create fire, and this extinguisher can extinguish it. And this extinguisher are filled with potassium, which cools and lowers the temperature of the fire. Number 5, the clean agent extinguisher. Extinguishes fire by interrupting that is electrically conducting and does not leave a residue upon evaporation. And this will extinguish any type of fire including flammable liquids, greases, and oils. And this extinguisher is important in a gas station. For example, if there is a motorcycle with good fire, this extinguisher will be used. 6. The dry powder extinguishers are similar to dry chemical except that they extinguish the fire by separating the fuel from the oxygen. This has a blue label and this is used for fighting burning solids, liquids, and gases, and it is ineffective on all other classes of fires. And this is for Class D or combustible metal fires only. Example of metal fire is the metal dust. Metal dust is prone to creating fires. If it has a contact with a heat source, the small shoving of metal dust are able to easily become hot enough to ignite. Number 7. Water mist extinguishers are a recent development that extinguish the fire by taking away the heat element of the fire triangle. These are primarily for Class A fires, although these are safe for use on Class C fires as well. And this is 100% recyclable and do not contain any chemicals and is only using deionized water.
While the specific may vary depending on the model you own, most of the fire extinguisher operate using PAS. So sa paggamit of fire extinguisher, dapat hinumduman nato ang acronym nga PAS. P is for pull, A is for aim, S is for squeeze, S is for sweep. P. Pull the pin to break the temper seal. A. Aim the nozzle to the base of the fire. Move within 6 to 10 feet and aim low. So, kung ang base sa atong fire kay nasa ibabaw sa lamesa, dito po nato siya bombahan. S. Squeeze the handle. Dito po nato pinduton ang button sa fire extinguisher para ma-release ang chemical niya. S. Sweep side to side to the base of the fire. So, if ever nga mag-regenerate ang fire, so we must aim the base of the fire and then sweep side to side. So, if you don't have the courage to fight fire, you must evacuate immediately and call for emergency.
Location of fire extinguisher. Why it necessary to know proper location of fire extinguisher? The location of fire extinguisher is very important as it affects the quickness of our response during an unexpected outbreak. Few seconds lost in looking for the right type of fire extinguisher and it could make fire out of control. Extinguishers should be placed where they are readily accessible in the event of fire, which typically includes normal paths of travel. Fire extinguisher usually find in hallways, laundry rooms, meeting rooms, kitchen, mechanical and electrical rooms, and near exit doors.
So my topic is SMV or slow moving vehicle emblem. So this slow moving vehicle sign is consisting orange triangle na siya each red taga side. Then man kanina sign is very important to us labon sa mga driver, di ba? Very important kay gapuan labon na mag-drive ta, labon na gabi. Di kailangan dyan nato nila labon na sa mga dagkong truck. Kabulo ko na aning kon dyan siya importante kani siya para sa atua o when it comes to highway jud kailangan dyan nato sign para dili ta mo diretso kay biskan hubog ta makakita gyapon ta kay muglo man siya labon na muglo siya labon na ma-hit siya glide.
Good morning sir, good morning classmates. This is my report about SMV or slow moving vehicles. Slow moving vehicles emblem is sign siya makita nimo siya sa likod sa dako nga sakyanan especially sa farm equipment. Ginagamit nila kini pa sa binapag mag-adto sila sa public highways para ang purpose ani niya is to approach the motorized or sa mga sakyanan na mag-slow down. Pinaka-importante ni siya sa katanan para maiwasan ang disgrasya.
Package label are more than essential or hazardous product as it could be a matter of life and death in the events of accident. Products such as turpentine and kerosene are poisonous if taken internally. Agricultural pesticides are products designed to be poisonous to pests. However, they may also cause illness and deaths to human in not used properly. Ang mga label sa mga pakete importante kaayo kay nakasulat dire kung unsa kadelikado sa atong kinabuhi, labi na kung kini makahilo ang mga agricultural pesticide nga produkto makadaot sa mga tao kung dili magamit kung tama. Okay.